Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is EmoNews, every moment online. In tonight's headlines, massive fire destroys businesses on King George V Street. Glory in Paradise, Dominica's first National Gospel Festival, hailed a major success. U.S. fighter jets downed over Kuwait in apparent friendly fire. FBI investigates Texas bar shooting as possible terrorist act. Dominica's club compete at second Carifta trials in Guadeloupe. And India edged West Indies to reach T20 World Cup semi-finals. Details of these stories and more coming up next. Stay with us.
Welcome to Antigua. Them people have no behavior. They have no behavior. Welcome to Antigua. Clear out how you know it's danger. How you know it's danger. When it comes to massive deadly.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis, and this is a news broadcast for the 2nd of March 2026. First up in local news, Dominica's first ever National Gospel Festival, Glory in Paradise, has been hailed a resounding success following a powerful night of worship at the Winter Park Sports Stadium on Saturday. Patrons described the experience as spiritually uplifting, electrifying, and truly unforgettable. Minister for Tourism, the Honorable Dennis Charles, praised all stakeholders involved in making the event a reality. She commended the organizers, artists, sponsors, and patrons for their support and hinted that Glory in Paradise is expected to become an annual event on Dominica's calendar.
So our first edition of the Glory in Paradise Gospel Festival was simply awesome. If you missed it, you missed something glorious, you missed something great, and you missed a perfect opportunity to just have a moment with the Lord in praise and worship. I mean, all the performances were excellent, and I must commend our locally based, I like that word, international artists. They were phenomenal. I am so proud of all of them who performed tonight, and I think that this is a statement that we have very talented people here, and I'm so happy that we afforded them the opportunity to perform on an international stage with well-renowned artists. So this is the first of its kind. It will not be the last. So next year, March 2027, get ready for the second edition of Glory in Paradise Gospel Concert, only in the Nature Island.
EmoNews also caught up with several artists following their performances. Many expressed gratitude for the warm Dominican hospitality and shared how moved they were by the energy and spirit of the crowd.
What advice or what would you like to say to an upcoming artist?
Oh, man, to any up-and-coming artist, I would tell them to be content and enjoy the journey. Be content. And for me, it's about the journey. You know, what does it matter if I'm effective in public and defeated in private? And so for anybody who's up-and-coming, I'll tell you to be content, enjoy the journey, be present in the present.
Someone said that your presentation was the best presentation of the entire evening. How do you feel about that?
I just came to worship. Be with you guys. I'm grateful to be allowed to come to Dominica because I
truly say that God delivered us.
How did it feel ministering here in Dominica tonight?
I mean, it's amazing. The way
How did it feel representing Dominica on that stage tonight?
It felt great. It felt great. As we know, there were a number of foreign acts on there, so it felt great to represent Dominica. Sound like God has blessed.
Nice. What was your favorite moment during your performance?
Well, when I brought out the flag and saw people's faces, you know, because our nation be proud.
Proud.
We are proud people. So, you know, when I brought out that flag and I saw that, it was really, really great. It was an honor.
All right.
Good evening to you, positive, and welcome to Dominica. And thank you for leaving a positive impact on the stage this evening. How do you feel about your presentation?
My goodness, listen, Dominica is such a beautiful place, and the energy of the people. I just felt at home, you know. I feel like I just walked on a door, my house door, and I just encountered the people. It's such a blessing to be here. It's so electrifying.
We're here with Travis coming out to the United States. Travis, welcome to Dominica. Your performance was magnetic. I saw people in tears, their hands were up, you were in the crowd. How do you feel about your presentation this evening?
First of all, I love it here. Beautiful people, beautiful culture, amazing food, amazing energy. My first time to this particular island. I've been to many islands around here, but I love this. It felt like home. And I told my friends earlier that this must be a Christian nation because you can feel just a peace and really the presence of God on this island. I slept very well last night, which says a lot about this island. And so I know there are amazing prayer warriors and amazing pastors and amazing churches here. And this is a beautiful, beautiful place. I can't wait to come back.
Thank you.
Glory in Paradise marks a new chapter in Dominica's festival tourism product, blending faith, culture, and entertainment in what organizers describe as a transformative experience for the island. A massive fire on King George V Street in Roso has left several businesses destroyed following a blaze that reportedly began shortly after midnight. Early reports indicate that the fire spread rapidly through the commercial area, causing significant structural damage and heavy losses to business owners. Among those hardest hit is Jolly's Pharmacy, a well-known establishment in the capital. Fire and ambulance services responded swiftly and remained on the scene for several hours, working to contain the blaze and ensure public safety. Thick smoke and flames were visible from various points across the city as emergency crews battled the inferno. At this time, details surrounding the exact cause of the fire remains unknown. Authorities have launched an investigation to determine how the blaze started. Business owners and employees affected by the tragedy are now assessing the extent of the damage as the community rallies in support. EmoNews will continue to provide updates as more information becomes available. Also, in response to the fire in Roso last night, Prime Minister Roosevelt Garrett has expressed full solidarity with the families and business owners affected by the devastating fire in Roso that damaged several buildings on King George V Street. In a statement issued today, the Prime Minister said his thoughts are especially with those whose livelihoods have been impacted, assuring them that they are not alone during this difficult time. He noted that fire officials will continue to assess the damage and that the government will work closely with affected parties to support recovery efforts in the days ahead. The Prime Minister emphasized that the national response must be practical, compassionate, and united, while offering prayers for God's blessings, comfort, and guidance for all those affected. Meanwhile, Parliamentary Representative for the Roso Central Constituency, Melissa Popon-Skerrit, also shared her sentiments following the incident. She described the night as a difficult one for the city, but gave thanks that the situation was not worse, particularly given the high winds at the time. She commended fire officers and first responders for their brave and determined efforts in containing the blaze and preventing further destruction. Poponskarit highlighted that behind every affected business are families, employees, and livelihoods, noting that the impact will be felt across the community. She called on residents to stand together in solidarity and support those affected as recovery begins. Both leaders expressed confidence in Roso's resilience, affirming that together the city will rise again. And finally, in local news, the Ministry of Agriculture, in collaboration with the Chinese Technical Mission, has announced significant progress in pineapple production through tissue culture technology. A total of 4,339 MD2 pineapple plants produced at the Agricultural Science Complex in 1 Mile, Portsmouth, have been placed in the hardening stage before distribution to farmers. An additional 3,000 MD2 plants are currently in the rooting phase. Other varieties including Smooth Cayenne, T4, and T11 are also being propagated, with rooting and hardening expected to begin in April 2026. The initiative aims to strengthen food security, improve planting material quality, and boost agricultural productivity in Dominica. And that's all for local news this evening. Stay tuned for regional news coming up next.
Blast Gaming presents its biggest job whatever. Blast Mystery Progressive. I'm so excited. I can't hide it. The new Blast Jackpot rising. And I like it. It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up and up and up and up.
Play selected games to win in the Blast Mystery Progressive. Pick until you match free gems and win one of the 5 cash jackpots. Or you can blast up with the Mystery Progressive Jackpot.
It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up. Blast Gaming.
Volnoric Von Martin, a pioneering broadcaster, producer, and cultural ambassador who has amplified Caribbean music, identity, and storytelling in the diaspora for nearly 5 decades, was honored at the Caribbean Media Exchange CMX Leadership Awards in Miami in December. Born in Trinidad and Tobago and one of the early voices of WPFW 89.3 FM, Martin has devoted his life to preserving and promoting Caribbean heritage through radio, authorship, and cultural projects, including work with the Smithsonian Institution. Though unable to attend, he shared a moving message, reminding patrons that while the award may bear his name, it belongs to the community that journeyed with him. He urged the next generation to use your voice to tell our stories. Guyana and St. Kitts and Nevis are preparing to sign a broad development partnership covering food and energy security, healthcare, education, technology, and security cooperation. President Mohamed Irfin Ali made the announcement while meeting with the diaspora during the Caribbean Community Heads of Government meeting. He said the agreement will formalize collaboration through several memoranda of understanding and strengthen the movement of goods and services between the two countries. Guyana's expanded energy and agricultural sectors are expected to support regional food and energy security, while new hospitals, nursing programs, scholarships, and security training will also be extended through the partnership. Prime Minister Terence Drew is expected to visit Guyana soon to finalize the agreements. Both leaders stress regional unity and greater opportunities for the diaspora communities. And finally, in regional news, at the close of the 50th CARICOM Heads of Government meeting in Basseterre, Chair of the Caribbean Community, Prime Minister Terence Drew reaffirmed the region's commitment to reparatory justice, security reform, and economic development. Leaders agreed to advance the revised 10-point plan on reparations ahead of upcoming global engagements, endorsed a new community industrial policy strategy to boost competitive regional industries, and welcomed cooperation with the UNDP to strengthen policing system. CARICOM also signaled coordinated humanitarian support for Cuba and reiterated its focus on stabilizing Haiti, with continued backing for the multinational security mission led by Kenya. And that's all for regional news this evening. Stay tuned for international news coming up next.
We're at the different phases in life. We move at a different pace. All we need is to be supported. Cause when the baby's coming, business needs revamping, the new job starting, and you need an outfit. Let momentum hook you up. Momentum will hook you up. The wedding's planning, rent due dates coming. Momentum is your support financing. Let momentum hook you up. Momentum will hook you up.
And now for international news. 3 US F-15 fighter jets were shot down over Kuwait in what the United States Central Command describes as an apparent friendly fire incident. Officials say the aircraft were mistakenly targeted by Kuwaiti air defenses while supporting US-Israeli operations against Iran. All 6 crew members ejected safely and were recovered. An investigation is underway. The incident comes amid escalating regional conflict. CENTCOM also confirmed the death of a 4th U.S. service member wounded in early Iranian attacks. President Donald Trump has warned that further casualties are possible as the operation against Iran continues. And finally, 2 people were killed and 14 others wounded in a shooting early Sunday outside Buford's Backyard Beer Garden on 6th Street in Austin. Police say the gunman, identified as 53-year-old Diaga Diang, opened fire from his SUV before exiting with a rifle and shooting at pedestrians. Officers responded within minutes and fatally shot the suspect. 3 victims remain in critical condition. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is investigating the attack as a possible act of terrorism, citing indicators found on the suspect and in his vehicle. President Donald Trump has been briefed on the incident as authorities continue their investigation. And that's all for international news this evening. Stay tuned for the sports segment coming up next.
Don't forget, today we have funeral, we have functions. Make sure you're on time.
Always on time, eh?
You're always on time. Make sure. All right. Papa Met, look, I just received a message from National Bank asking me to regain access to my account. Look at message that your account has been placed on hold due to an unusual activity. Let me click that link.
How many times NBD has to say that they will never ever send links via text message to regain access to account or to restore account or to do anything with account?
So National Bank that sent it, I believe it. I just click in.
Emo, if you're not sure, it's better if you call National Bank at 255-2300 or email them at customersupport@nbd.dm.
Papa Met, little again I lose all the little money I save up from my account.
And you'd find money to pay me.
Yeah, I tell you, I almost click link and almost lose my money. You're talking about I hope I have money to pay you. Let's go, eh?
All I know is don't click any link. Call NBD instead.
So let us know our business.
And now for the sports segment. The West Indies produced a strong batting display but fell just short as India secured victory to advance to the semi-finals of the 2026 ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Batting first, West Indies posted an impressive 195 for 4. Captain Roston Chase led with 40 off 25 balls, while Jason Holder, 37, and Rovman Powell, 34, powered the late surge. Contributions from Shea Hope, 32, and Shimron Hetmeyer, 27, kept the innings steady. India's Jasprit Bumrah took 2 for 36. In reply, Sanju Samson starred with an unbeaten 97, guiding India to a 199 for 5 in 19.2 overs, the highest individual score by an Indian in a T20 World Cup run chase. Holder and Sharma Joseph claimed 2 wickets each, but India held their nerve to seal the win. And now with football action, Dubla FC recorded an impressive 3-1 win over Bath Estate FC at the Champions Cup semi-finals. Odell Laville led the charge, scoring the first and third goals of the match, while Captain Brielle Thomas added the second to keep his side firmly in control. A confident performance from Dubla FC as they walked away with all 3 points. Dubla FC is now into the finals. And finally, in sports, the Aspires Athletic Club and the Westmore Rangers Athletics Club departed Dominica on Wednesday, February 25, 2026, to compete in the second Carifta Trials in Guadeloupe. At the Guadeloupe Carifta Trials number 2, Omari Caesar delivered an outstanding performance in the under-17 boys 3,000 meters, clocking a blistering 10.1024 seconds to secure qualification and set a new personal best. Jariah Lewis also booked his spot at the 2026 Carifta Games in the under-20 triple jump, equaling the qualifying standard of 14.50 meters. This achievement adds to his long jump qualification earned earlier this season. With these achievements, Team Dominica now proudly stands 11 athletes strong, building momentum as they head toward Carifta. Congratulations to both qualifiers on their impressive performances as they continue to make Dominica proud on the regional stage. And that's all for Sports segment. Stay tuned for the weather report coming up next. And now for the weather report. Warning: rough seas ahead. A strong high-pressure system is whipping up windy conditions across the region. Expect partly cloudy to cloudy skies with occasional scattered showers. Marine warning: East Coast, waves up to 12 feet with strong breaking surf. West Coast, waves near 7 feet. Small craft warning and high surf advisory is in effect. Stay out of the water along the East Coast. Coastal residents and travelers, please stay alert. Saharan dust will reduce air quality. With that said, sensitive groups take caution. And that's all from the Dominica Met Service. Stay safe and stay informed. And this brings us to the end of tonight's news broadcast for the 2nd of March 2026. I'm a presenter, Rick Francis. On behalf of the entire newscast, we say thank you for viewing. This is EmoNightly News, every moment online. Good night.